I'm a pastor, an artist, an author, a scholar, and a conversation. Welcome to Chatfest with Kenneth. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chatfest with Kenneth. And for this episode, we are actually going to be having a conversation about the Ijaw Diaspora Council. Okay, and these are my esteemed panelists who are going to have this conversation with us regarding IDC. Do you guys want to introduce yourself? I'm going to start with my able professor.
Thank you, Pastor. My name is Hon Gesiere Brisibe-Dorgu, and I'm one of the servants of the Ijaw Diaspora Council.
Actually, you're the leader.
I like to see myself as a philanthropist.
Okay.
More than anything else.
Okay.
And working for the common interest of the Ijaw. Thank you.
Okay. Well, for what he didn't say, I will say what he didn't say. He actually is the leader. Okay. And my honorable lady.
All right, my name is Gesiere Brisibe-Dorgu.
Okay. You want to tell us a little thing, something about yourself?
Oh, I like to write, I like to paint, and I like to discuss affairs of the Asian people. And of course, I am a very, very proud member of the Ijaw Diaspora Council.
Awesome. And one thing she did not say, although she mentioned it kind of modestly, she is an accomplished published author. She has multiple publishings. I will put the links in this video at the description. So she is a published author. And my able doctor.
How are you?
You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Hello, everybody. It's after 3 o'clock here. You guys are in the East Coast. We're in the West Coast. We're in Central.
Okay.
My name is Brisbane Opokman. But today they normally call me Bob Nabena sometimes. And just a foremost statesman for the cause of the Ijaw and the Niger Delta matters. And the position I take now is just a conflict resolution director.
Awesome. 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 So let's just dive into it because we're I want us to get the nuggets out. So IDC, Ijaw Diaspora Council. What is it? Anybody want to go? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
Well, I think this is Monday Gold again. The Ijaw Diaspora Council has an historical perspective to it. It's good to know how we got here. As a matter of fact, we have been in existence for the past 4 years. And this particular point should be addressed, and I would like to bring it to the attention of the public, because there was a vacuum precisely in the United States about 4 years ago. The vacuum came about because we lost one of the critical stakeholders in the Ijaw community in the United States. And we had some challenges as it relates to how we can, take his body to Nigeria. And it was literally, in fact, it was so difficult that we turned around and said, why can't we have an organization At that time, the major national organizations were nowhere to be found. So some of us were contacted and we came together and finally came up with this organization called the Ijaw Diaspora Council. And now, one of the primary purposes is to share the dream and the agenda of the Ijaw Nation and how we can build a community, realizing that there is already there's a vacuum that was created. How can we build a solid Ijaw foundation, Ijaw community in diaspora that can withstand the test of time? Because we've seen several organizations come and go. So we came up with a new approach, and here we are. That's number one. Number two is to may I say, provide means in a way that will enhance self-help, self-reliance, and of course, self-determination. We also came to the realization that it's going to be difficult to have the necessary political base without economic power.
Okay.
So one of the primary purposes of this organization is to bridge the gap as it relates to economic power and political power.
Okay.
Now, our focus is primarily on the economic side because we also want to make sure that we create the necessary wealth. And of course, I will say this and I will allow others to speak, to sustain our cultural heritage.
Okay. 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 So if I hear you correctly, economic sustainability is crucial to the vision of IDC.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So we want to be able to create a national database because there are thousands of Ijaw people in diaspora.
Okay.
And yes, so we don't know who is who, where they are. And I am happy to report that as of today, we have well over 1,500 Ijaw people living in America that has been in touch with us.
Woo,
And
awesome. Awesome.
It's a recent development. It's one of the major achievements of this organization.
Okay. Honorable lady, do you have anything to add to it?
Well, I think from what he has said, you can see that this is an organization determined to bring Ijaw people together, to interface, to network, and to really belong to a body that is beyond social or cultural. Okay. Because yes, because we are talking about a diverse group of professionals as well who are ready, willing, and able to make the knowledge they have available to the entire Ijaw nation.
Okay, so that means, I'm sorry.
Yes, right here and at home.
Okay, so that means the IDC primarily is focused on the Ijaws who are in the diaspora coming together to be a cohesive force and to attempt to make an impact, not only here among ourselves, to build us up cohesively, but to make an impact back home.
Exactly. Because, we take our bearings, we take our bearings from, from home, from where we are.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So is there a difference between IDC, the Ijaw Diaspora Council,
Congress, and the Ijaw National Congress,
and IDF?
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. The IDF is a platform for communication.
Okay, so it's simply a platform. So it's just an outlet for IDC.
Yes, you do not have to be a member of IDC to be a part of the platform.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
The name that is legally registered in the United States is the Ijaw Diaspora Council.
Okay.
So
Okay. And Dr. Nabina, there's IDC. So that's like the umbrella for Ijaws in the diaspora. Are there other multiple Ijaw organizations that are cohesive, that are working parallel with IDC?
Let me come in at this time. I will not say parallel per se. With the experience I've got and years I've spent in the diaspora, I know that this is the ultimate we can get to now, which is IDC.
Okay.
There's a National Council and there's a Ijaw Diaspora Council. Now, no matter what name anybody calls himself, ethnically, whatever it is, parochially, they all falls under this Ijaw Diaspora Council. There could not be any better name that you can get for an Ijaw groupings based on what we were before and what we are now. So even if people go and come, they find I cannot find any better organization.
Okay.
Because we can easily identify with IDC, Ijaw National Congress, and will be acceptable. If you go in the name of Bonnie Council or one council or one thing or whatever it is, you are still segmental. We're talking about a global body. This global body will take us to that very level, and they will listen to us even at the United Nations, just like some of the consulates are already identifying with us. So there is no better group or groupings or name that we can coin ourselves right now, because having started from students 50 years ago when I first came on a scholarship, we were students all over the whole country, the whole United States, England, everywhere. Nigerian students. We've grown beyond students.
Yes.
We've become professionals. Even our children have become professionals. Can we continue to be on those parochial level, Ijebu and all those things? No, it's gone beyond. Most of them are no more students. And even if they call themselves, we have an Ijaw that needs to bring in all these people that are all over, scattered in different places, and bring them under this fold and make sure that both our governments, that's the Ijaw governments, which is in the various states we have, and the federal government, as well as the American government or the European governments, we get to know that there is an ethnic nation that needs to survive.
And that statement is segueing me to my next question. But before I go into that, Tony, can you hear us? Because we don't see you. I don't even know if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Can you switch on your camera? Okay.
I cannot switch on my camera because I'm in a place where that's why.
Understandable.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's awesome. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So you did mention, Dr. Nabina, you did mention nation, and that brings me to the Ijaws are, from my understanding, are the fourth largest tribe in Nigeria. When I did my little research, I think it was like about 15 million-ish, approximately, give or take, and we're located on the Delta region, along the coastal line and along the Niger, even towards the middle part of Nigeria to the western part of Africa. So my question is, it just seems like for a tribe or a people who are who are the base of the national treasure or the national bloodline of Nigeria, and our size, do we have the oneness, the one voice that we're supposed to have to make an impact? Do we have it? And if we don't have it, why don't we have it?
All right. Can I come in?
Please do.
Yes, we have the one voice, unquote, the one voice.
Okay.
Because of the Ijaw National Congress.
Okay.
Which encompasses all the Ijaw groupings.
Okay.
In the 6 states that we find ourselves.
Okay.
Yes, made up of various clans. So the Ijaw National Congress is that one voice that is speaking for all of the Ijaws in Nigeria.
So is that Ijaw National Congress, are they speaking the intent of the people, the heart of the people? Or is there a disconnect? Because it almost seems like everybody has an opinion, so opinions are overrated. But it just seems that the cause of the people, what the people want, the cry of the people, especially infrastructure, social welfare, educational upliftment, it just seems there is a disconnect with what the people are saying versus what is being actualized. So where is that disconnect?
Excuse me. Well, first and foremost, the Ijaws have been balkanized into these various states that I mentioned, the 6 states.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, do not have the concrete power, executive or legislative power, to effect and affect changes in these various states, except or with the exception of Bayelsa states, which is homogeneous.
Okay.
So to that extent, there is only so much the INC can do in terms of infrastructure, because they are not, the INC is not a government.
Okay.
It is a socio-cultural organization that has great limitations in terms of what it can do to pressure the states and the federal government,
Okay.
So, yes, so.
Anybody else want to add to it?
Okay.
Yes, I would like to add. The Ijaw Diaspora Council, knowing what's been happening all over, because I was born in Lagos, I grew up in Lagos, and I know a lot of Ijaws that are there in Lagos, both that are well-to-do, properties that have been built by Ijaws are still lying there. A whole lot of wealth is there, of our wealth are there.
Okay.
And then worry, there are then so many places where you can't think of, even in Benue, Makurdi and so on, all those riverine area, they are just living there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all these diasporas. Then look at the internationally where we are. Some of our children were grown up, and many of them, because of this organization on the ground there, they feel a little bit helpless. So the IDC actually is a way to begin to say, look, we have hope. We have this organization. Through this organization, we can actually encourage and bring these people back and amass this wealth also, so that where our government locally will now respect us to say, look, we can work together towards achieving whatever we need to achieve. Right now, the Oduduwa and all those people, it is the diaspora that's moving it. They are the one that's actually doing money. They are the one going to the United Nations. They are doing many things. So you can see the need that we can do the same thing. And if we do very well, we've now grown up. We've gone professionals now. We can even do better than that. But I tell you, IDC is when I've thought about it over all these years, and everything that I've known I went to Nigeria. I worked with the communities in the host communities, and I found out that this is just the only name we can bear to bring all these people together for us now to affect changes in our various communities and also have mouth to speak internationally.
Okay. So, I don't know. You keep segueing me into my next questions. I don't know. Do we have a psychic connection or something? Everything your answers keep leading me to my next question. So,
yeah.
So,
can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
Our chair has already, two of them have clearly articulated the challenges of the Ijaw Diaspora, of the Ijaw National Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to your question, we got a problem here.
Yes.
The problem is that we do not know how to work together. And especially those of us.
Wait. Would you say that is an Ijaw problem or that is a Nigerian problem?
No, well, I want to just confine. I want to focus on the Ijaw nation.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So the whole, yes, INC has some challenges, but the challenges are so pronounced because there is a vacuum in diaspora.
Okay.
The diaspora have not been able to come together and speak in one voice. If you are advocating, if you are saying that we need a national body in Nigeria to present, discuss and present the interests of the Ijaw people, we also have similar challenges in the United States. Okay, we should be able to find a way to work together, find a way to love each other, find the modalities for sustainable unity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, when there is lack of unity, lack of love, and lack of collaboration, there is a problem.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
So in that case, because there's something that's resonating. What's resonating is Ijaw Diaspora Council making an impact in Nigeria, and there is the Ijaw National Congress, which is in Nigeria, working in the home base. So there are two things. One is in Nigeria, INC, IDC is in diaspora. So the question is, how do we make an influence or an impact? I know we need to have one voice, but say, okay, somehow we have that one voice. We're all a cohesive force. How do we practicalize our impact? How does it translate in making an effect in Nigeria, especially in the community? Let's see. AB Johnny, can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Okay, just wanted to acknowledge your presence, and I think Nimi wanted to acknowledge you, and I see Tony is muted. So okay, go ahead, Prof.
Well, basically, we've been able to accomplish a number of things, even though even though we have challenges. But I think we can do better if we can find the need, identify the need for us to come together. We will have more recognition back home. Right now, we have been so lucky that when we speak, some critical stakeholders can listen to IDC.
Okay.
The evidence is there.
But wait. I'm trying to figure out how, okay, maybe I should flip my question. The impact or the influence we're trying to make, obviously, you did mention economic. So are we trying to affect infrastructural changes in the community? Are we trying to influence education? Are we trying to influence policies? What exactly, when you say make an impact, it's very vague, it's very ambiguous. So please practicalize the impact we're trying to make.
Okay, number one, we have what it takes to send qualified professionals to Nigeria.
Okay.
And we also have the global impact, collaboration to identify credible NGOs that can, because first of all, you need to know that we have abundance of resources,
yes,
products and services that will be of interest to the global market.
yes.
So when we are able to identify enough professionals willing to work with us, it becomes a lot easier for us to know, said, how can we invest in our local economy?
Okay.
How can we engage in any form of viable direct foreign investment? And let me say this, as we speak today, there is no consolidated effort to provide remittances. If you ask, we know that Nigeria is sending billions of dollars. Nigerians in America, take it from me this way, Nigerians in America are sending billions of dollars to Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me how much the job people are sending to Nigeria? We can't, because we don't have that structure in place. And that is something we are looking into.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Can I come in here?
Sure.
Your question now ties into the reason for the convention, the first convention that we are going to have next year.
Okay.
July, with the theme, Practical Ideas and Innovation Convention.
Okay.
Yes, the idea is to ensure that this particular convention is not going to be another talk show,
celebration, festivities, funfair without any practical impact or influence.
Got it. So that is why we want to ensure that those who are coming, those who will present papers, will be talking about concrete ideas, innovations that will change the face of Ijaw land.
Okay.
But right now, we know that there are no industries in Ijaw land. So from just—
What do you mean there are no industries?
Well, yeah, we do not have industries in Ijaw land. For example, in Cross River State, some years back, there was tinapa. So as soon as you mention Cross River, people will talk about tinapa. And then,
okay,
yes,
okay, I see what you mean.
So if you talk about Ijaw land, we have comparative advantage in so many areas. We have the oil palm, the raffia palm. We have the swamps, which are very good for natural fish ponds. So many things. We have sand, we have the sea, and numerous other comparative advantage platforms that we can use. So let people with ideas present innovations that will transform what we have to industries. So that when we mention, for example, Yenegua, people will immediately say, that is the hub for boat making. When we mention Bumodi, they will say, that is the hub for sugarcane or sugar production, because we have a lot of sugarcane there.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say is an industry that becomes culturally impacting, that it's not just existing, but it is significantly relevant, it's socially relevant, it's impacting, so it becomes synonymous with the place. When you hear the place, that industry resonates because it has made such an impact. It is relevant, it is socially relevant, economically relevant, culturally relevant. It has impacted, it has become significantly impacting, so it's synonymous with the place. That's what you're saying.
Yes, and above all, it can last because the raw materials are there. Like 90% of the raw materials are there.
Okay.
So with that comparative advantage, you do not have to depend on somebody or some company elsewhere to make that industry viable.
Okay.
So we are talking about.
So this convention is an opportunity for experts in various fields to bring innovative ideas to educate, inform, enlighten us on how to go to the next level in the vision.
Exactly. Concretely presenting even prototypes if need be, so that we can attract investors from the diaspora. You understand?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's, you said a lot. You said a mouthful.
Well, thank you.
So now, since we're talking about the convention, so when exactly is the convention? Let's talk about the convention. When is the convention? It's next year, July.
July, yes. July 4th to July 2nd to 4th, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that with I've seen some of the flyers and some of the promotional material, and there is a sponsorship section.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that we have to sell what we want to do, just what I've told you now.
Mm-hmm.
Have to be sold to concerned and interested Ijaw people.
Okay.
Well, now, we're going to have, of course, a program booklet or brochure.
Mm-hmm.
So sponsors.
Sponsors.
Sponsors can now place adverts.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And President Prof, you can add.
Prof, yeah, this is your platform now to bloop.
Well, I mean, again, it's the Ijaw Diaspora Council hosting the convention, the diaspora community. Let us be clear without the extension. Ijaw Diaspora community is having a convention.
Yes.
This convention is being hosted by the Ijaw Diaspora Council. And we expect our sister organizations, the Zombie Association in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Axis, we expect them to be fully engaged. We expect the Zombie Association in Minnesota to be fully engaged, the Ijaw National Alliance in Dallas to be fully engaged, the Wakrikese to be fully engaged. The Calabar Association has been duly informed, and we've also communicated our desire for collaboration with the Ijaw National Congress in North America and the Ijaw National Congress in Nigeria. Okay. We have written to the Ijaw Elders Forum in Lagos. So we expect all these critical stakeholders to express in any way, shape, or form how we can move the project to the Ijaw agenda to the next level. One way to do it is will be in form of sending us a goodwill message with their vision.
Okay.
With their vision. And so the price is not much. It is consistent with what is obtainable elsewhere. That so we have various levels of sponsors. Okay. And
all that information will be online, and I can put the links in the description of this video, so people can be better informed. Okay.
Exactly.
And all the organizations you also mentioned, I can put their information in here as well.
Yeah. So far there is the concept is well received.
Okay.
We know we expect full participation of the Ijaw women of North America. They will be there, you know.
Okay.
We've and the Calabar Association of United Kingdom will be here. I think the president has already made a reservation. So we're making progress. And so we expect our sister organizations, we expect major organizations in Ijaw land. If you are a medical doctor having your practice, we expect you to sell your idea, sell your products. By the way, the commissioner for tourism in Bayelsa State is coming. She will come with relevant cultural material for display.
Okay.
And so it is going to be a wonderful experience that requires the participation of all well-meaning Ijaw people.
Okay, so I have one thing I'm going to go back. For the average Ijaw person, let me see, the customer service employee working in, I don't know, the dentist office, that is a receptionist at the dentist office, the Ijaw man, Ijaw lady, or working customer service in Walmart or wherever here, or a student. And they're like, yes, I'm here trying to make my ends meet. I'm working, paying my bills, basically life in the diaspora. And yes, I am Ijaw. I acknowledge that I'm Ijaw, and that's great. And the Ijaw concern in Nigeria is a future thing I will deal with, not right now. I will deal with it when I've made my millions. What would you tell that person?
I can't hear. Oh, geez.
What would you tell that person? I'm sorry, let me mute this person. So what would you tell that person to why they should attend, why this is a priority, why it's important for them to attend?
All right. Can I come in there?
Come right in.
Yes. It is a priority for that person to attend because what you have is today. You do not have tomorrow. And the massive opportunity of networking that the convention will present is such that you won't get it anywhere else. Not through Zoom, not through letter writing, not through anywhere.
Not through social media.
Definitely not through social media. You know, it has to be face-to-face.
Traditional networking.
Yes, this is a traditional networking, you know. So this will be a congregation of the very best of the best. So since the range of professionals will be so diverse, you will have the opportunity to discuss in-depth issues, you know, about what you plan to do in the future, what you are doing now, you know, and so on. So there is no comparison at all, you know, in terms of, oh, I'm going to see this person on social media or whatever. None. Your today is what you have. So take advantage of it. Do not say, I'll wait until I make my millions. No, your millions could actually be made during this convention.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else want to add something to that?
Yes.
Dr. Nabina, you've been quiet for a minute.
Let me add. The sponsorship will be far and wide.
Okay.
There are some companies owned by Ijaw people right in Yenagoa, in Port Harcourt. Some of them are big hotels and so on. We need to reach out to them to, you know, it will be surprised. They could pay the Nigerian equivalent to showcase their hotels or their businesses. I know that there is Rani who owns the airline that's operating from Yenagoa to Lagos and all those stuff. There are others. And that's one. There's also the fact that the convention, when we're doing it in all of this time, can actually, on an annual basis, go to other cities in the United States, and even in England, even Europe, sometime in the future. So when these things are going, those of them that are students or just workers who cannot afford to fly to the place will actually have the opportunity, you know, at that very place. But you see, whatever we do there at the convention will showcase the more participation in the future. For example, the speeches and the relevant speeches that are going to be made is one. Modern practices in this kind of groupings also have a subgrouping that will discussant groupings. Because that's why it's a 2-day program. So that will actually be discussing some things, you know, which I'm sure I'm going to talk with Professor, because these are things that we need to make it relevant, to make it down, to bring it down to the common people for them to understand exactly what we have, what our potentials are in the Ijaw land, especially if we're talking about apart from oil, the next potential is tourism. It's tourism. That's what it is. So there must be, you know, the commissioner for tourism also, if is attracted also to come in, and also if you look at the Bayelsa State within that very 8 years of Dixon, was a whole lot of talk about tourism, but it was not really, they didn't fund it. It was like more mouth, but they didn't fund it. Because whether you like it or not, Bayelsa have the longest coastline in the entire Nigeria, the longest coastline, have more rivers, more creeks, so you can see, and then the human being generally is about, you know, it likes to be by the coast, by the beaches. And we have natural beaches all over the place. So these are some of the things we need to showcase that we know down there, plus to attract the investors. Why do you want to come? Well, there's the oil facilities that cannot be taken away. They are there already. That's why the Jonathan government makes sure they put the 17-story Nigerian content that is there to be able to drive this technical knowledge into our people, but how that will be transforming. And we have so many of our youths here in the diaspora who are doing petroleum engineering and some marine engineering, so many things who could actually. So these are the reasons for the IDC now taking it upon ourselves. It's the first experience.
So is this our first? Is this our first convention?
This is
the inaugural one.
The one I know is that this is our first convention.
Okay.
You know? So when we look at what happens now, it gets bigger. And when they know that it's an annual thing, just like they come to celebrate Boro Day, you know, Boro Day can actually be worked into the system whereby all these things become more relevant, you know, from the struggle to this. So these are my contribution for now.
Anybody else want to say something? Mimi, AB, Johnny, Tony, Elizabeth, y'all want to say anything?
No.
She said no. AB, Johnny.
I'm very fine with whatever you guys decide should go. It's okay by me, seriously speaking. At the minute, I was just gonna butt in because it's not been long. I came in from work here in London. It's minutes to 10 o'clock. It's getting too late. I want to have something to eat. So I'm just thinking if I could just mute and stay on the listening side of things.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind. However, if there's anything I need to say, I'm going to clean up my mouth and then come join you guys.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So my next question is, obviously we've talked about the relevance of IDC, the vision of IDC, and we have things in step to practicalize or actualize the vision, which will be the mission of IDC. We have the convention, and obviously there are other things down the road. So how does one become a member? What does becoming a member of IDC mean? Like, I show up, there's an event, I show up, hey, we have a great time, and I skedaddle to my little place. Am I a member? What are the benefits of being a member? What is there a commitment? Is there, talk to me.
Well, I would like to add by saying that the whole purpose of IDC itself has been evolving from the time Prof and his little group started it. They evolved. So they right now at the early stage, I would say 4 years may not be too early, but it's still early. But then if we start it right now, and we now begin to go through the convention and giving enough information to people, I think gradually people will know the importance. Because first of all, there was that small child of ours, a boy of a child of ours, that we had to contribute money for his education. You know.
Yes, for people who don't know, let me just recap that. For people who don't know, we had a member who was he was studying marine engineering in one of the recognized universities in Africa, and he needed some financial support. And so we came together as a body, and it wasn't forced, it wasn't dictated, it was just a philanthropic move because we wanted to support and uplift our own. So we raised up, I think, about 18 or 1900.
That was what I was making reference to. That was what I was making. It evolves as we go on in terms of even professional jobs. There could be some openings, like here in Texas. There are a lot of jobs in Texas, you know. But maybe some people may be in some other places, and they, you know, I'll be looking for jobs at the same time. That the real estate market here is very lucrative out here. How do I inform people that they are there in New York? I'm paying a house about 1 million naira. When that 1 million naira can come to Texas here and buy about 3 houses or 2 houses and make money and have, you know. So the IDC itself is a hub for information exchange that will grow us up. So be economically viable, because whatever we are doing, why they are not progressing in Nigeria and INC and so is financial. They really do not have the money. They have to just get themselves hooked up to a government, you know, either state or whatever.
To get governmental support.
Begin to now dole money to them, and sometimes they are veered away from their main cause. You know, they now begin to toe a party and political line, which is not the real main. Our own should be that the downtrodden, the people on the grassroots, these are the future of
But you haven't still said how to be a member.
How to be a member? It's telling people exactly who we are. And you have to be an Ijaw or Ijaw related or by marriage or whatever it is to be able to be a member. Then having said that, there's a common thing, you know, that shows that the survival of the emancipation of the Ijaw people and the Ijaw nation should be the bedrock, should be the one that's really make you to want to join, because you see Ijaw there as a name, and Ijaw is not telling you Ijaw of Sagbama or Ijaw of Trofani. It's Ijaw as a diaspora that goes anything outside Nigeria is a diaspora. So you want to enter into it for the survival of our people, just like the Oduduwa and other people want to survive. We want to survive.
Okay. And there are chapters of this. Are there chapters?
No, we do have coordinators.
Okay, so we have coordinators of different regions. So we have like the European coordinator, and hopefully we want to expand to be global. So like hopefully someday we have Australian coordinator, Asian coordinator, and all that. But I see Honorable Lady was about to say something.
Yes,
and
exactly.
We already have clocked an hour, so we are going to be wrapping up soon, but go ahead.
It's you. Everything rests with you. Anyway, so we have, of course, a Canadian coordinator.
Yes.
And you also asked, what does it mean to be a member? Is it just by registering? No, for me, if you want to reap the full benefits of membership of any organization, not just the IDC, it is important that you participate fully. And how do you participate fully? It is by bringing ideas, sharing ideas, or contributing to discussions, you know, not just being dormant. If you are dormant and you're a member only in name, I do not see that there is an advantage there. So my call today is to all members to bring their knowledge, a wealth of experience to bear on what we are doing. Contribute ideas all the time, or as much as you can, you know, and whenever possible, so that you know, everybody will know that you are really truly a member. And of course, you know, the little commitments there is membership dues, you know, which is not a big deal really.
Because every organization, a most significant organization, have some kind of financial commitment. Because where your heart is, your money will go.
Yeah, you know, so the dues are like taxes for a country.
Yeah,
you know. So with the taxes, we provide basic services. So with the dues, yeah, you know, we provide little things that will make the organization stronger,
functional,
more functional.
Okay.
We have several benefits.
Go ahead.
That many people don't know. We are having we've had extensive conversation with critical global, very important global agencies willing to build a diaspora village in Ijaw Nation. And these houses will be sold, and I can say to you that the members will have discounts. Number one. Number two, today, if Ijaw people in Nigeria wants their kids to come to Canada, we now have the foundation that has been, the benefits that have been enjoyed by other tribes. We have the base where we can have our children accommodated by Ijaw people in Canada, pending when they'll be able to have the necessary, you know, things in place. Or when they want to go back home, we will have housing for them. So that is one benefit. Number two, we have the connection to make sure that a Nigerian that is willing to have his organization registered in Nigeria, we have the contact at a discount rate. If you want to register an organization in the US, we have the experts to do it for you. So many. But so many that we can't continue to begin because these things are pretty obvious, but it's good for me to identify some of the most important benefits. Our organization, there are no age, we don't have age limits. We have organization where you have to be X number of years to be a member. The Ijaw Diaspora Council don't have age limits. So if you have the interest of the Ijaw people, come on board. And as the chairman has said, we need concrete ideas. You know, we know that some people are just waiting to see when the house is fully built before they come on board. But that should not be the case. You should be a part of the process.
Okay.
The process. If you are waiting for a perfect organization, that is when you will come on board. I don't know. We are more interested in progress as opposed to perfection.
Yes. Perfection is boring. Perfection does not exist. All right, so
yes. Before we go, I beg your pardon, moderator. Before we go, you know what our president said just brought my mind to what bugs a lot of people. They say some people have just plainly quit because of acrimonious discussions.
okay.
That were evident at some point. So my counsel is this: is there a home where dissension is absent? And the answer is no.
Nope. Conflict is part of life.
Exactly. So if you are an invested member of that family, what you do is work to harmonize the differences. But if you say, I'm no longer a member of this family because of dissensions, then you are not born to be there anyway. So let us not use such sentiments, you know, to divide the house.
Okay.
Let us always know that we cannot think in the same manner.
Yeah.
We all have different ideas, but maturity is when we accommodate each other's ideas. I may not agree with you, but that doesn't mean your idea is foolish. It's just that I don't agree with it. That is not to say that I'll also now divorce myself from whatever is going on because of that. All I have to do is bring superior reasoning to bear on what is on ground.
Okay.
And if my ideas are superior, definitely they'll be accepted by a majority, not by everybody, but by a majority. So let us try and accommodate each other's failings, knowing that we are all, you know, liable to fail at some point or the other.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna give like 30 seconds to anybody who wants to say or wrap up anything. 30 seconds each if anybody has anything to say. Any last words before we go? The faceless lady.
My hands are up here.
Okay.
It's Elizabeth Daniel speaking. Sorry, I'm driving and I came in late. But
It's
just
okay.
to add to...
Hello? Hello? And I think she's muted. Elizabeth, you're muted.
Oh.
Or she might be on a bad patch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are gonna. Anybody else have anything to say before 30 seconds?
Well, there is going to be an amazing convention. We've not had convention, the national convention in the United States at least in the last 6 years. And so it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to have one-on-one conversation with the former president of Nigeria. From all indications, he will attend the convention. The deputy governor of Rivers State is coming. The permanent secretary, federal minister of water resources will be on board. Several traditional rulers, including the king of Opobo, is coming.
Okay.
The Peru of Akubene Main is coming. Traditional rulers in Ondo State, they're all coming. Traditional rulers in the Edo State, the Ijaw communities in Edo State. You remember there are 3 local government areas representing the Ijaw people in Edo State, and their traditional rulers are coming. Businessmen are coming. The former governor,
and your 30 seconds is up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly round up by saying, I mean, you asked a question which is very, very relevant. And that is that...
Go ahead.
And that is that it'd be nice, it'd be so good that whatever we are doing impact others out there.
Yes.
What your question was, how are we going to apply what we are doing so that it is relevant out there? You see, we are their eyes. We should be change makers.
I like that.
We should make sure that they are listening to us. Why? Because we see so many things, right? And so whatever we do should be they should listen to us, should be very relevant.
Intentional and relevant.
Yeah, is what I am going to add. And
thank you very much, sir. All right. Lady, did you change your mind and have something to say? Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, good evening.
My name is Nemi. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Nemi. Although I joined late, but listening to the meeting so far, it seems promising. It seems nice. And the idea or the plan towards it is quite a good one, which is welcoming. And I think I see prospects for we the younger ones for the future. And if the older ones could make things better, because INC was in no way so good. My dad was an INC person. Prof knows what I'm talking about. Which he paid his dues.
President of INC.
He paid his dues there till his last days. So it would be a nice thing to see that his legacies or his stress or what he fought for or stood for still moves, because I think one thing about Ijaw nations, we don't like ourselves. We like stabbing ourselves, which is a norm. But no, it happens. It happens.
No.
It happens, ma. It happens a lot, ma. We prefer to do things for others than for ourselves. Whether we like it or not, is the truth be told. But if it's changing now, then it's a very welcoming and a very nice thing. I want to comment everybody on the cabinet. Job well done for what it's all about, and hopefully pray that we can all attend this thing to see it come through in our time and see that we could move it forward for the next generation coming on further. I want to commend the organization for the organizers for this whole thing, and thumbs up to I think I'm out of every other person going now.
Yeah. Pastor, please allow me 1 second.
Oh no, you maxed out your 30.
That is the former president's daughter. So there is something important that we have not discussed. That is, we are going to recognize our former leaders.
Okay.
And we have received nominations.
Okay.
So far, we have received 7 nominations. Yesterday, one of our members sent another name. We are doing the research as it relates to who are the children of the man with the capacity to come to the US to accept the award on behalf of the family. So, so it's going to be interesting for people to come and listen directly.
3, 2,
yes.
1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did I say before we started that people with titles in front of their names have a lot of information?
Moderator, just give me 1 second before we go. Honestly, please.
Okay.
Just to disabuse the minds of your listeners about this Ijaw people don't like themselves. They prefer to help others. You know, that is a very, very broad and general statement. The fact that one person is in office and has the capacity to only do selfish things does not apply to the 20 other million Ijaw people. That is the point I want to make. Okay. We shouldn't generalize that Ijaw people do not like themselves. I like you already, you know.
I like you too.
And yes, you know, and I love you.
I love you too.
Understand? So yes, that's the point I wanted to make. Let's disabuse our minds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity for us to have this conversation. It looks like we may have a part 2 down the road, but thank you very much. And